Hi, ladies. It's Doona here. Thanks so much for joining in. So, today we're going to focus on a 1 hour full yoga workout class. This class is designed for all levels, whether you're a beginner or intermediate, as I will be giving different modifications, different adjustments, and feel free to take as many breaks as you need. So, I am currently in my third trimester. And so if you're in your first or even second, this class will be perfect for you as well. So again, doesn't matter which level, what trimester you're in. So let's go ahead and get started right away. Grab your 2 blocks and a strap, and we're going to start in child's pose today. Also, if you have your blankets or bolsters, feel free to grab those. Let's come into child's pose. So you're going to bring your big toes to touch, knees wide apart. Hinging from your hips, walk your hands forward. Then drop your forehead down. Relax your shoulders. Relax your hips. Taking this moment, just like any other practice, to come into the breath. Focusing on your inhales and your exhales. Some of you might even be experiencing some shortness of breath, which is a common pregnancy symptom. So yoga is going to help you breathe a little bit better. It's going to help you bring that awareness, opening up through your ribs, front side and back side of your body. Take your time. Breathing in slower and exhaling even slower. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Awesome. On your next inhale, gently lift your head. Walk your hands over to the right, folding over your right thigh. Okay, so don't just drop your head all the way down, as obviously you need to keep some space for your stomach. So I like to just keep my chest lifted, lengthening through the spine. Option to walk your hands forward even more, feeling that nice stretch into your side body. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, walk over to the left. Some of you might be lifted a lot higher. Some of you might be folded a little deeper. So always listening to your body, your practice. I'm only here to guide you. Number one rule is to stay safe here. Good. Coming back to center. Inhale, rise up to tabletop position. Stack your wrist underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Let's take about 5 rounds of cat and cow pose. Bend your elbows back, lift your chest, gaze all the way up, and as you exhale, round your back. Tuck your chin towards your chest. About 4 more on your own. Finding both extension and flexion through your spine. Really, really great for your lower back. If you're feeling tension in your neck or shoulder area, this is also really good for you. So I have about 1 more. If you're going slower than this, take your time. No need to rush. But when you're ready, let's come back to tabletop position. Flip 1 or 2 hands back, so fingertips points back towards your knees. And let's rock forward and back here, getting more into the wrist, into your forearms. Feel free to create some circles. If you're only doing 1 hand at a time, this is a good time to switch hands. Now keep your fingers pointing back towards your knees. Just flip your palms to face up. Option again, 1 or 2 hands at a time. If you're new to this stretch, just do 1 hand. But make sure for this one, you're rounding your back rather than dropping your chest down so you don't dump into the wrist. This one might be super deep for some of you. So again, don't overdo it. Good. All right, let's go ahead and have a seat on your heels. Feel free to place a bolster underneath your sit bone. And let's just go ahead and shake out the hands. You're going to feel a rush of blood flowing back into your hands. Good. And then cross your right arm over your chest. Left hand on top of right arm. Drop your right shoulder down, but keep reaching over to the left. Good. Right hand on top of left thigh, left hand behind your lower back for a gentle spinal twist. Remember, whether you're in your first, second, or third trimester, since you are pregnant, less compression in your stomach, so focus more on twisting from your shoulders and your upper body. Keep peeling your left shoulder back. Come back to center. Feel free to roll out your shoulders. Cross your left arm over your chest. Right hand on top of left arm. Fixing your posture, noticing if there's overarching in your lower back. Keep your tailbone lengthened down. Good. Seated spinal twist over to the right. Keep your shoulders down, neck long. Belly in. Come back to center, roll out your shoulders. Downward facing dog. Hands shoulder width apart, spreading your fingers out wide. Point your index straight forward. Bring your feet either hip width distance apart or maybe a little wider. Bend your knees as much as you need. Lift your toes, roll your inner thighs back. Keep broadening through your upper back, lengthen your spine. Relax your head, gazes back. Inhale. And as you exhale, shift forward into your high plank position. Stack your wrists underneath your shoulders. You might have to widen your stance just a tad bit. Spread your fingers out wide. Really push the floor away. Keeping your hands and feet there, push yourself up, back to downward facing dog. So now this is your downward facing dog stance. Try not to shorten it too much. Good. One more time. Shift forward into your high plank. Keep your tailbone lengthened down towards the backs of your heels. Roll your inner thighs up. Firm up through your quads. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Lift your hips. Lengthen your tailbone up. Keep your feet where it's at. Again, option to walk your feet as wide as your mat, especially if you're in your second or third trimester. At least for me, it feels a lot better to widen this stance. Then walk your hands back towards your feet. A slightly wide-legged forward fold. Option to grab opposite elbows. Let your head dangle. Maybe sway torso side to side. Option to bend your knees a lot. Release your hands to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen your spine. You could keep your hands on the floor. To lengthen your spine, you could also place your hands on top of your shin bones. Exhale, forward folds. Relax your head, gazes back. 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward folds. Inhale, lengthen, lift your chest. Draw your chest forward. Exhale, forward folds. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, walk your hands forward. Come back to downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze towards your fingertips, and exhale, walk your feet forward. Again, feet together, maybe hip width or outer hip width. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward folds. Inhale, mountain pose. Rise all the way up to standing position, arms above your head. Lengthen your tailbone down. Draw your belly in. Exhale, hands to heart, Samasthiti. Good. Feel free to readjust your stance. Fix your shirt. Relax your shoulders. And close your eyes. Drop your arms by your side, palms face forward. Relax the shoulders. Good. All right, one more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Keeping your core engaged, tucking the tailbone down. Inhale, mountain pose. Reach your arms over your head. Exhale, hinge from your hips, forward folds, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Flat back. You've been here before. Exhale, step your feet back into your high plank. So again, you've been here before. This time we're going to take our Chaturanga. Feel free to skip your Chaturanga altogether by holding here and pushing up to downward facing dog. You could also drop to your knees if that's better in your practice. Inhale, shift forward, and exhale, lower down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Option for your cobra. Then exhale, downward facing dog. At any time throughout your practice, feel free to switch it up. Coming back to the breath here. And checking in. Where can you soften? Where can you let go? Good. Sun salutation A, breath to movement. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, walk or lightly hop forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward folds. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Again, option for your layer 1, 2, or 3. If you're still new to Chaturanga, please find my video on how to do Chaturanga. There's a Chaturanga tutorial. Few breaths here to settle in. If you need to come into child's pose, you could also drop to child's pose. Good. Last sun A. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, walk to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, a few breaths here. Or feel free to drop to child's pose. Good. All right, come back to down dog if you're not there already. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, walk to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Samasthiti. Good, and drop your arms by your side. Relax your shoulders. Broaden through your chest. And even widen through your shoulder blades here. Inhale, reach your arms over your head. And exhale, grab opposite elbows and take a side body stretch over to the right. Peel your left shoulder slightly back. Lift your heart up. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, lean over to the left. Gaze up, chin away from your chest. Inhale, come back to center. Reach your arms over your head. And exhale, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot back, low lunge. Either keep your feet between your hands. If you're in your third trimester like me, you could walk your feet to the outside of your right hand to create space for the front side of your body. Your first lunge position, just feel it out here. Notice how your hips feel, your hamstrings, inner thighs, glutes, lots going on right now. Good. All right, let's set up for your warrior one. So you might have to walk your feet back to center, your right foot back to center. Shorten your stance and point your left toe slightly out so the left heel is grounded. Inhale, rise all the way up to your warrior one. Once you're up, you might have to readjust. Either bring your feet hip width distance apart or heel to heel alignment. Stack your right knee over right ankle. Upper body is same as mountain pose. Keep your back leg strong and straight. There's going to be a natural C curve in your lumbar spine, but notice if you're overarching, sticking out your chest. See if you could draw the front ribs in. Last inhale. And as you exhale, open up warrior two. Either bring your right heel in line with your back arch or back heel. Keep your right toes pointing forward, right knee stacks over right ankle. Left heel slightly out, so your left toes are pointing in. Now, without actually moving your feet, try to drag your feet towards each other like you're pulling the mat towards each other. Engage through your adductors. Straighten your right knee. Inhale, reverse triangle. Left arm down, right arm up and over. Feeling that nice side body stretch. The tendency is to crunch into the left side body. Rather than making the left side body short, find length by reaching up first. Reach up through your right hand. Then from there, find your depth, lean back. Inhale. And as you exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog or your cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Moving straight to the other side. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, walker jump forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back. Again, your lunge position might be same as mine. Left foot to the outside of the left hand, or your left foot might be in the center. So again, depending what trimester you're in. Again, I like to rock forward and back here. Try to keep the hips low, chest stays lifted. One more breath.
All right, standing up for your warrior one. Either walk your left foot to center, keep your left toes pointing forward, hop your right foot forward. And then once you're ready, rise up to your warrior one. This side might feel a little bit more tighter or maybe more open. So your stance might be different from the other side. Hips will never be squared, but do try to draw your left outer hip back. Roll your right inner thigh back. So that right hip is still slightly open. It's never squared. Find your gaze, find your breath. If your breath became short, maybe you're overdoing it, so drop into child's pose. Try to relax all your face muscles here. Last inhale. And then as you exhale, open up warrior two. Virabhadrasana 2. 5 breaths here. Shoulders squared. Draw your front ribs in. Energize through your fingertips. Last breath. Breathe in. Let it go. Inhale, reverse triangle. Right arm down, left arm up and over. Again, keep reaching up before you lean back. Keep your tailbone tucked. Inhale. And exhale, cartwheel your arms. Chaturanga Dandasana. Remember, you could always skip it. We'll meet in downward facing dog. All right, ladies, let's drop into child's pose. Before we move into our sun bee flow. So we're going to flow through that twice. Breath to movement.
Let's go ahead and take one more breath here. Inhale through your nose. And a big audible exhale, sigh it out. Good. Let's all meet in downward facing dog. And we'll flow through our sun bee breath to movement. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, walk or lightly hop forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot way back. Inhale, warrior one. Drop your back heel. Rise all the way up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Option to hold in your high plank. Skip your Chaturanga. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, walk or lightly hop forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folds. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, your vinyasa. Option to drop to your knees. Option for either cobra or your upward facing dog. To downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Option to drop into your child's pose at any time. Take this moment to slow down the body using your breath. Release some heat by taking some open mouth exhales. All right, ladies, if you're not already in downward facing dog, let's meet there and flow through our last sun B. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, walk or lightly hop forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold even deeper. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step your left foot back. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten your front knee. Exhale, cartwheel your arms. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, walk or lightly hop forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right foot back. Last side, you got this. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, open up warrior two. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Any which way you like. Once you're in your down dog, let's drop back to child's pose. Big toes a touch, knees apart. Relax your forehead. Take this moment to settle back in. Find some stillness. Find some silence. Just scanning your physical body. Noticing how it feels now. Ladies, stay here as long as you need. Otherwise, we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Option to grab your two blocks. Make sure they're towards the top of your mat. If it's not there already, you might need them. Inhale, right leg high. Lead with your inner thigh. Keep your hips squared. Exhale, low lunge. Step your right foot between your hands. Then drop your back heel. Inhale, warrior two. You've been here before. Keep your right knee over right ankle. Roll your right inner thigh up and back, finding that nice external rotation. Keep your back leg straight, firm up through your left quad. Inhale, straighten your right knee. Pivot your left hip slightly in. Then shift forward, draw your chest forward. Exhale, triangle. Right hand either on top of your right shin bone, maybe all the way down towards the floor. Option to place your right hand on top of your block. Then as you inhale, I want you to focus on reaching up past your left hand. And as you exhale, peel your left shoulder slightly back. Breathe here. Keep your legs the same. Inhale, reverse triangle. Get that nice side body stretch. Let's meet back in warrior two. Stack your right knee over right ankle. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, extend a side angle. Right forearm on top of right thigh, or option to grab your block to place to the inside of your right foot. Same action as your triangle. As you inhale, reach up. Find length, open your chest. And as you exhale, lean your left shoulder slightly back. So there's a slight rotation here. Let's come back to warrior two. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, cartwheel your arms, your vinyasa. Other side. Inhale, left leg high.
Keep your hips square. Flex your left foot down. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, warrior two. 5 breaths here. On your next inhale, straighten your left knee. This time you're going to draw your right hip slightly in, finding that nice internal rotation. Then shift forward, keep lengthening your spine. Exhale, triangle. 5 breaths. You got this, lady. One more. Stay strong. Inhale, reverse triangle. Keep your tailbone lengthened down. Try not to arch through your lower back. Come back to warrior two. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, side angle. Keep reaching up. Open your chest. Open your left knee. Breathing here. Good. Wait for your inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. All right, ladies, just meet towards the top of your mat. Again, feet either hip width or maybe as wide as your mat. Bend your knees as much as you need. Option to shake out your legs. Maybe sway the hips side to side. Good. Walk your feet a little closer to each other. And let's roll all the way up to a standing. Once you're all the way up, go ahead and roll out your shoulders. Roll out your neck. Let's do a couple balancing here. Okay, so anytime we're balancing, make sure you're focusing on something in front of you that's not moving. You don't want to keep moving your gaze or you're going to lose your balance. Let's start with tree pose, grounding down through our left foot. Either pick your right foot into your left inner ankle. Bring it all the way up to your inner calf. Otherwise, using your right hand, pick your right foot up and bring it all the way into your left inner thigh. Bring your hands to your heart. Stand up tall. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Notice if you're arching your lower back, see if you could tuck the tailbone, lift up through your sideways. Relax your shoulders down your hips. Standing up taller and taller without losing your posture. Last inhale. And as you exhale, bring your right knee to center. Drop your right foot. Whenever you're ready, other side. I'll give you about 5 breaths to hold here in your tree pose. Feel free to grow your tree this time. Last inhale. And then as you exhale, hands to heart, bring your left knee forward, come back to center. Good. Coming into our standing figure 4. Okay, so we're going to start off with grounding through the left foot once again. Let's come to chair pose. Bend your knees. Reach your arms over your head. Then as you shift all your weight into that left foot, cross your right ankle on top of left thigh. Bring your hands to your heart. Keep your right foot flexed and see if you can sink a little bit deeper. Keep scooting your sit bones back, but keep the tailbone lengthened down. Chest stays lifted, so it is a slight back bend here. If you can, you could get a little bit deeper so that maybe your forearms can touch your shin bone. Inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly rise and release your right foot. Good. Awesome. Inhale, chair pose. Shift your weight into that right foot. Cross your left ankle on top of right thigh. 5 breaths. If you lost your gaze, remember, find that drishti, that one single spot in front of you. Keep your eyes locked there. Also use your breath to stay balanced. 2 more breaths. Good. Inhale. Slowly rise and exhale. Release that left foot. Good. Feel free to cha-cha out your legs. Really nice, ladies. All right. Come towards the top of your mat. Inhale, mountain pose. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, last chaturanga of class. Again, always feel free to skip it or modify. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, half pigeon. Right knee, right wrist. Right ankle, left wrist. Take a peek at your left leg. Make sure your left leg is straight. Hips are square. So draw that right hip back. Point your right knee out. You're more than welcome to stay lifted here. Option 2, drop to your forearms. Option 3, grab your blocks. Option 4, relax your forehead all the way down. Keep your pelvis neutral. Hips squared. Lower back is long. At any time, if this stretch gets a little too deep for you and this getting hard to breathe or it's getting too hot, get out of it. Shake it out. Down dog is where we're going to meet. Try to release the tension here rather than holding it. Good. If you're not already in down dog, let's go ahead and meet there. Feel free to keep your right leg lifted. Shake it out. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, half pigeon. So again, make sure your left knee is pointing out rather than your left knee pointing forward. Okay, it's really important to get that nice external rotation through your hips. Whichever layer you took on the other side, please try to copy for this side. Although one side might feel tighter than the other, so it doesn't have to be identical. If you forgot about your breath, bring your attention back to your breath here. Last breath in. Last breath out. Then downward facing dog. Let's drop to table pose. And then to puppy pose. So I am in my 3rd trimester. It feels a lot better for me if I bring my knees as wide as the mat, just to give some space for my baby. Make sure your hip stays over knees. Walk your hands forward, drop your chest. Either drop your forehead or drop your chin. 5 breaths. Opening up through the shoulders, your upper back.
Okay, so you're more than welcome to stay here a little bit longer, getting that back bend. Otherwise, come all the way down onto your hips. Obviously not your belly, especially if you're in your second or third. If you're in your first trimester, lying on your belly should be fine. So now in your seal pose with your arms straight, chest lifted. Obviously, belly should be lifted off the floor. If this feels good, great. Otherwise, if this is too much for your lower back, I want you to skip this and come back to the puppy pose. Breathing. Good. All right, let's come back to tabletop position. Let's have a seat on our sit bones. Time to slow down. If you haven't grabbed water yet, this is probably a good time to grab some water, towel off. All right, let's come into our seated separate forehead to knee stretch. Right foot into your left inner thigh. Keep your left leg straight. Point your left toes up. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, hinge from your hips and fold over your left leg. So anytime you're in a folded position, just like this one, remember hinging from the hips to lengthen your lower back is really important. And as you get further along in your pregnancy, you'll notice your belly is kind of in the way. So keeping the chest lifted is going to give you a lot more space for your belly. So you don't focus on folding all the way. At least when I do that, I feel a little nauseous. So you don't want to overdo it here. Good. Inhale, slowly rise. Bend your left knee behind you and take a gentle seated twist to the right. If you haven't watched my do's and don'ts during pregnancy yoga, please find that on my YouTube channel. It should show all the do's and don'ts. But really, it's all about what feels good for you. What might feel good for me might not feel good for you, and vice versa. Good. Come back to center. Straighten out both legs in front of you, and let's switch sides. Left foot into your right inner thigh. Sit bones firmly grounded. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. And exhale, hinge from your hips and folds. To keep your spine long, focus on lifting your chest, not just up towards the ceiling, but imagine there's a string tied to your heart and someone keeps pulling that string forward. So you're reaching your chest forward. But don't let the shoulders crunch up towards the ears. Keep the back of the neck long. Right foot flexes. Good. Just breathing into your hamstrings and your calf. Inhale, slowly rise. Bend your right knee behind you. Right hand on top of left thigh. Every inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, open your left shoulder back. Good. Come back to center. All right. Plant your feet hip width distance apart and just go in and sway your knees side to side. Straighten out both legs. If you're in your first or second trimester, you might be able to bring your feet together or keep them hip width. For me, I like my feet as wide as the mat. Make sure all 10 toes are pointing forward. Feel free to bend your knees as much as you need. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, hinge from your hips and fold. So some of you might feel this a lot in the hips, maybe the lower back. For me, I feel it mostly in my calves and my hamstrings. Because our bodies are so different. will feel it a little bit different from each other's. So you're just noticing, bringing that awareness. Good. Inhale, slowly rise. Good. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and lower all the way down onto our backs. Make sure your lower back and tailbone is firmly flat against the floor. And then coming into our figure 4, cross your right ankle on top of left thigh. Lift your left foot up and interlace your fingers behind your left thigh. Okay, so ladies, this is option 1. Okay, you're more than welcome to stay here. Since we worked a lot into our hips, if you're feeling a little bit more open, then option to cross your right knee on top of left knee for your cow face legs. Try to grab opposite feet. Otherwise, you could always hug around your knees. Then lift your feet up so it's in line with your knees. Then from here, you can just go ahead and shake it out, or sway side to side, rather. The more you pull your feet apart, the more hip and outer glute stretch you'll feel. Make sure tailbone stays grounded, lower back is grounded. Okay, so we can either take a regular supine twist or eagle leg supine twist. Because I am in my 3rd trimester, taking this eagle legs is a little too much for my twisting. So I'm going to just cross one way, just single way, not double. And then I'm going to drop my knees to the left. So I don't want to twist too much in my stomach. Again, it doesn't feel good for me. Come back to center and neutralize your spine. All right, so same thing on the other side. Layer 1, figure 4. Layer 2, cow face spine. Left knee over right knee. Few breaths here. One more breath. Good. All right. So eagle legs, single or double wrap, or take your regular supine twist. Scoot your hips slightly to the left and drop your knees over to the right. Tee out your arms. Gaze past your left shoulder. Back off any time when it doesn't feel good. Come back to center. Neutralize your spine. Happy baby pose. Stomp your foot up towards the ceiling. Either grab for the outside of your feet. Option to grab behind your thighs. Lower back stays grounded. Shoulder blades stays grounded. Focus on opening up your chest. You can sway side to side. Rock your happy baby. Stay here. Otherwise, straighten out your right leg. Get more into your inner thighs and hamstrings. Bend your right knee. Straighten out your left leg. option to straighten out both legs at the same time. Supta Baddha Konasana legs, soles of your feet to touch. Press your feet towards your belly. Keep your tailbone down and point your knees up. Shoulder blades still grounded, opening up through the chest. Good. Drop your feet as wide as your mat. Either cactus or tee out your arms. And just sway your knees side to side. Get that nice release of the lower back. Good. All right, ladies. So either take your Shavasana if this is too much for your lower back and you feel more comfortable in your fetus position, in your fetal position. Either lie on your left or right side and use your arm as a pillow. Hug your knees into your chest. Relax your left hand in front of your chest. Close your eyes and let's take 3 breaths here. Breathe in. Let it go. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Last one. Deep inhale. And a huge exhale. Let it out. Ladies, stay here as long as you need. You work so hard. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. And if you have any requests for future classes, please let me know as well. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Namaste.